Great. Okay. So, Dr. Janani is a Siddha doctor at the Sri Narayani Holistic Center in South India, in Tamil Nadu. And it is the Holistic Center is a part of the Sri Narayani Hospital and Research Center. Dr. Janani, can you just tell me about the difference between Siddha and Ayurvedic medicine?
So, Siddha means perfection, that is union of the mind, body and the soul. So Ayurveda and Siddha differs from the regions. So, Siddha is from the Tamil Nadu, that is southern parts of India, and Ayurveda is from the North India. The one thing which differs Ayurveda and Siddha is Siddha system of medicine developed for the spiritual enlightenment. So those who are on the spiritual path, they want their body to be healthy because soul resides in our body. So we need to take care of the body so that the soul remain in a body and it will travel in a spiritual path. So that's why the Siddha system of medicine developed. Siddhas were they are the ancient saints we call as sages. They went on the spiritual path, so they developed this system of medicine. So the people who are going on to the spiritual path need to take care of the body as well. That's why it's differ from Ayurveda. Ayurveda is to treat health, body and mind, but Siddha is for the enlightenment.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, and today we're going to be talking about Varma.
Yes.
So Varma is, can you tell us, so Varma is V-A-R-M-A.
Yeah, we call this V-A-R-M-A-M, perfection, Varmam in Tamil. It is also called as Marmam. In Hindi that is called Marma, means secret, hidden secret. In ancient days, so this Varma is kept a secret because it has been taught from generation to generation as a martial art. So when people is when at those times when people used to attack, next invasions or there, sometimes they used to use as a martial art to attack the enemies. And also Varma points was not only used for the human beings, it is also used for the animals. For example, if an elephant is coming, they want to control the elephant. They touch certain Varma points on the elephant to keep them under control. Not only for the elephants, for all the animals I'm saying. So it is not only for the human beings, it is applicable as well as for the animals. Why I'm saying is, Varmam is the vital or the life energy. So that exists within our body. So for example, there are many places in the whole universe, but at some places when we go, we can find connected to that place. So when we go and sit under the mountain, we can feel the cosmic energy coming within us, isn't it? When we go to the market, we don't feel that. When we go to the hospital, there is different kind of vibration. Likewise, our body do have certain points where the life energy or the vital energy resides. That points are called the Varmam points. There are 108 Varmam points in our body.
Okay, let's just hang on. Can I just go back to you? You were talking about the elephants.
Yes.
So when we see the elephants at the temple, they actually have a stick that they sometimes lean against certain parts of the body.
Yeah.
Are they Varma points?
Yes.
That they're working.
That's true. That's true. The animals know better than us. They lean around. They stimulate their points.
Right.
So, and when the horse is not going, when the cow bull is not going, we will tap them certain Varma points. Then it gets stimulated. Then it will run. So these are all the Varma points. That's true.
Okay. So you were saying that going back to the original part of Varma, there were two directions. So that one was the martial arts, and so that was basically to kill people.
Martial art, for example, if you are attacking me, I can make you to not attack me by controlling my energy towards you, or else by defending you, or I can kill you. That is also, it is used as those periods.
But it can also be used as a healing science.
Healing science. There are different aspects of Varma.
Okay. So to be a healer, you would have to be, so what sort of person becomes?
So the persons needs to be, because we are the persons who does Varma needs to be very, very good in spiritual path. Otherwise, because you are transferring the cosmic energy, observing that and passing that vital energy into your vital energy. So the persons who does Varmam should always be spiritually connected, and they do not harm anybody. They do not have a negative thought also while doing Varmam, because it does affect the patients. So while you are having the Varmam, you might would have been felt like so much of positivity. That is the cosmic energy is passing through it, and the person who does the Varmam is a channelizer. That's it. And sometimes you would have been having some massages, or sometimes you feel different negative energy sometimes. So that person is going through that. But even though that person is going through some problems, but when they does the Varmam, it is a complete connection of the universe and then you. So that needs to be, so that's why Varmam is taught as a guru disciple. So the guru select the disciple whether she or he can do the Varmam or not. Then only he teaches. He puts so many tests. The one who passes the test should be taught, then they will select, and then only they will teach the Varmam. It cannot be taught to everybody.
So with the actual Varma system, you said there's 108 vital points in the body, in the nerves, the muscles.
Yes, the junction of the nerves, muscles, and everything together, where the life energy points resides. For example, here. This is the Varmam point. That's why we put Bindi. Exactly, you put Bindi there. So this prominence is called Varmam point. This is called Pillar the column.
So we have 108 points that get touched on. What happens? How does illness happen?
Illness happens when there is an imbalance in the three doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, as well as the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha should stay balanced. And also in the vital energy point, the life energy called vital energy got stuck some point of time. So for example, if the energy got stuck in the cervical region, when have very good intense pain on the neck, they always feel neck because energy is not flowing. When we touch the Varma point and correct the Varma point, then they feel better. Many people would have been experienced. After doing Varma point, you can feel that life energy is flowing through our body. It means correcting your life energy. If you correct your life energy, then disease will cured. Illness will get cured. Your depression will go away. Your physical pain will go away. Your mental pain will go away. Because you will connect with the universe. The moment you connect with the universe, the moment you connect with the nature, nature itself heals you. That is the passing of cosmic energy into the vital energy. Because that is the vital energy which exists outside, inside as well. Connection is the Varma point.
Okay, so can you tell us what the difference then, because people in the West know about acupuncture, because acupuncture is very, very popular, right? So what is the difference between Varma and acupuncture? Is there a connection?
Very good question. It is actually, because since ancient days, when the human civilization exists, this Siddha system started to have been exist here. So since then, this Varmam has been practiced in Tamil Nadu as well as Kerala, Sri Lanka. So these are the southern parts of India. There, the Varmam has been in practice. So from here, it has been carried to China. Then that Varmam is developed into an acupuncture. If you want to tell a story, Bodhidharma story.
Yeah, so who was Bodhidharma?
Bodhidharma. You can search it in the Google also about the Bodhidharma. If you put Bodhi, B-O-D-H-I, D-H-A-R-M-A-R, he's called the Bodhidharma. And he's called as a Tamo in China. We have a shaolin temple in the name of Tamo. He is a prince of the Pallava kingdom. That is one of the small kingdom in the Tamil Nadu. He was a prince, which is like 3 hours from this place.
So it's in Kanchipuram, isn't it?
Kanchipuram. Right. He is the king of he is a prince of the Kanchipuram.
So that's a place which is very famous for silk saris and temples.
So
between here and Janani.
When he was in that place, he practiced Varma very extensively. So he does Varma, and he was practicing the martial art, and he was a great Siddha Medicine. So he was very good excellence in practicing herbal medicine, very good knowledge about Siddha Medicine and everything. When he was meditating, he got an insight that he needs to go for China. So that's how he traveled. It took 3 years for him to travel to China, and then he traveled to China, and then he practiced many kinds of Varmam. He taught people about what is Varmam is, how does this Varmam can work, and he practiced Noku Varmam. That's by seeing one person, like, just curing by seeing. And also when the enemy is coming to attack you, just by seeing, the enemy can drop off the weapons and then he can run away. So that kind of practice he had, that is called Noku Varma. That hypnotism we called it, but it is kind of healing as well. So that's why he taught this system of medicine in China. That's why it developed into a Kung Fu martial art. From that, it developed into acupuncture. We can see the similarity between the acupuncture and Varmam. The points are similar. The method of application is different. Since it is evolved from here, but they have their own method of application, but it is evolved from Varma.
So Bodhidharma is a prince who is a great siddha in India.
Yes.
He goes to China.
Yes.
And he basically brings the Varmam, the martial art, and also the healing science.
Yes.
And that martial art turns into Kung Fu, into shaolin, and also into acupuncture.
Acupuncture.
Right.
And unfortunately, when you ask here, who is Bodhidharma, nobody knows who is a Bodhidharma is. But when you go and ask China, everybody knows who is Tamo.
Tamo. And
he's called as a Tamo.
T-A-M-O.
T-A-M-O-U. Tamo. When you search in Google, you can have his history, his photo, his temple, his everything.
Mm-hmm. He was also very famous in Japan too.
Japan too, yes.
It's called Dharma.
Bodhidharma is called as.
Okay, so that's how acupuncture got to China. So from India, through Bodhidharma.
And Varma is the branch of Siddha Medicine.
Okay. Now, what, and so then earlier you were saying that Siddha medicine actually is practiced only in Tamil Nadu and Kerala.
Yes, in those days, Siddha medicine was practiced extensively only in Tamil Nadu, some parts of Kerala and Sri Lanka. Okay. Not other than this place. Because it all were written in Tamil language.
Right, so now we're going into the second part of the talk.
Yes.
And also, if anybody has questions, please put them into the chat box so that we can answer them at the end of the talk. So, also, just looking at Siddha medicine, what are you talking about? Varma is one of the branches of Siddha medicine. What are the other branches of Siddha medicine?
There are many aspects. Like, what are the branches of Siddha medicine? Siddha medicine has many branches. Or that there was a philosophy is a branch. There is a spirituality is a branch. When we study Siddha medicine, we study about what is spirituality is, what is enlightenment is, what is philosophy, different thoughts, and also about the anatomy, physiology, pharmacology, taxonomy, toxicology, and everything, pathology, and surgery to an extent, and also treating like external therapies, everything together.
And Varma can cure everything except infections, is that correct?
We studied, my guru taught me, it might cure, but according what we taught, what it's remaining now is Varma can cure all diseases except infections, because right now we have that kind of manuscripts. It would have been there, but it would have been not reached to the world. Maybe we don't know. Yes. But right now this is the situation.
Okay. So going back to the second part of the talk is we're going to look at Varma in daily life.
Yes, that's interesting.
So one of the first things we do in the morning in India anyway, is that you place a bindi on your forehead.
Yes.
With your right hand.
And actually, just by concentrating, putting a bindi on your forehead determines your day. Do this at least for 1 week and observe what are all the changes you're notifying. Take a piece of bindi, whatever you want, kumkum, or kumkum is a good positive energy observer. That's why we put kumkum here. Take a pinch of kumkum or vibhuti or whatever you want. Just concentrate on putting like this, and just concentrate and just take it up. Observe it. What are all the changes you are notifying on that day? Because this is the point. It is called the spiritual point. This is called the Tilarda Kalam. This Varma point is called the Tilarda Kalam in Tamil. This is the point which arises us into a consciousness that we are the soul and we are the part of the divine. So this point is really very important. So the moment you put it, you will be in just bliss. So every day when you put bindi, just do it consciously placing your finger and just observing the flowing of cosmic energy into your body. Just observe it.
Okay, so you're stimulating your consciousness when you're putting a binyan in the morning.
Yes.
Then in India, you also see people put the 3 lines of vibhuti.
Yes,
what is that?
actually
What
3
does that
lines
do?
like this. 3 lines vibhuti like this. There are 3 points, Pachinir Varmam, Pachin Varmam, and also here. There are 3 points. It stimulates together when we put that. So this 3 points, and also you have been observed, many females used to wear this kind of toe ring here. Have you observed? Some people
like
while
jewelry.
wedding, jewelry, because it stimulates here the point. It is called the Pachinir Varmam. So it is for the female because it induces a normal delivery for the females.
Okay, so
this is the point.
Married women.
Yeah,
have that
married
point,
women,
right.
and in northern southern India, but parts of northern India, Gujarat, and all this women, they usually wear I don't know what is exactly the name in English, but there will be a chain and there will be a dollar like that stuff. It will be like blowing up. So that is the Pachinir Varmam, Pachi Varmam. So it is also it prevents constipation as well. Just take 3 fingers together and just putting your face. 1, 2, 3, lateral movement. 1, 2, 3, lateral movement. Okay. So that prevents constipation. That induces normal labor. We cannot do this point to a pregnant woman very forcefully because it induces labor very early. So after 7th month, we can do it for normal labor. So there is each and everything we are doing in our daily part of like putting kumkum here, wearing this jewelry here. So everything has some significance towards Varma points.
Okay. So when you do the Ganapati prayer, how do you do that in?
I think many people would have been doing in our India. When we do some mistakes, teachers used to give this punishment.
Okay.
Like this. I think many would have been like, I have many permission. I got this punishments in my school life. Like just.
But when you go and pray to Ganesh, you actually have to do that.
Yes, and also you need to just, because this is a yoga point. It is this point you are pushing. No, alternatively, see. So this is the super yoga, super brain yoga. It increases your memory power, and when it increases your memory power, and it makes you to connect with the super consciousness. And also, have you seen it does not does with this? They always make to do like this.
Yes.
So this is the connection.
Okay.
So this is the connection between like surum, like idagale pingale, like alternatively stimulating. So this is this like alternate energy, right and left brain stimulation. So it together stimulates right and left brain stimulation. And when we do the puja, we do the aarti one hand and also bell one hand. So right and left brain coordination. So it all, as well as it increases your consciousness, as well as it increases your memory power. And always when your consciousness is improved, you always remember that your divinity is within you. That's everything.
Okay. Yeah. And what about the importance of wearing a mala?
Yes, very good question. I think, have you been noticed why all Indian women will be wearing some part of gold chains in her chain? You have been in India, you have been noticed.
Yes.
Even a poor woman like coming on the road, she will be wearing some gold chain. So why it is really important? It is because, have you noticed people C7 prominence? There is a prominence on your neck behind. Everybody touch and see here, there will be a prominence, that is a cervical prominence, which is the point that connects and separates the body and the soul. The moment it stimulates, you are not the body, you are the soul. It stimulates the consciousness. Right? And have you been noticed many priests would have been wearing, siddhas would have been wearing that Rudraksha Mala that stimulates that energy that always vibrate around it. So this chain, gold chain or silver we are wearing, the reason is they are the good conductors of energy. Silver and the gold are the good conductors of energy. So when we wear this chain, it always has some force on your C7 prominence. That force would always make it, because we are not conscious on that. But when we conscious on that, it always reminds you, you are not the body, you are the soul. The moment we get it, the consciousness, whatever we suffer will not affect us more intensely.
So it's also actually a good thing to wear a mala.
Good things to wear. Yes, of course.
Or
silver, gold, or rudraksha, or whatever we can wear.
Okay. Because all of them as priests, they all wear malas,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And what about earrings?
That's why the beads are round. So the constant pressure around.
Okay. And what about earrings? Because in India, everybody has earrings.
Yes. There will be a ear boring function also.
Okay.
When we are childhood, everybody in India would have an ear boring function. So that is like when we bore a ear.
So an ear piercing function.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry. Ear piercing function.
Yeah.
So like ear piercing and nose piercing has a very good significance. Like, ear piercing is like when you put a ear, it balances the equilibrium. When we walk, you need some equilibrium so that you walk balancedly. So it balances your equilibrium. It reduces the chances of deafness, and it reduces the chances of getting infections. It increases your immunity level. That's why the child in 6 months, 5 months, 7 months, ear piercing function is there, because to induce the natural immunity, because they will pierce an artificial thing, and then it will heal on its own. And also when we have a stimulation here, this is also a Varma point which balances your body.
So what if some people have 3 or 4 piercings? Is that good or not?
Because too much is not good.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So for example, if I done Varma on you, I'm not sure that I've done good Varma for you. If I stimulate this point, then you get balanced.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the significance.
Okay. And what about nose rings? Because in India they have women wear
nose rings because the people who are doing pranayama would have been noticed the significance of breathing in the right nostril. The more you take prana in the right nostril, the more you feel positive energy and better. So the piercing nose pierce on the left alters the nasal burr. It prevents the nasal block, and it always makes the prana to come on the right nostril. Okay. So that is the significance of having nose piercing. That is also a Varma point here.
Okay. And then what about women who wear, because everyone has to wear a bangle, right?
Everyone will be wearing a bangles. Have you noticed people will be wearing raksha like this in temples in South India? Yeah. Black color thread, green color, red color, whatever color they want, they wear. And this is significance because there exists an unseen energy around the wrist. There always some energy flows around our wrist. So if you wear some kind of jewelry like bangles like this, chudi we've called it, that absorbs cosmic energy and pass into your body because there. And also women who is pregnant will wear glass bangles. And when we are doing these things, the sounds, that stimulates, that makes child happy. So there is some connections between that. So it protects you. This cosmic energy, it is a raksha because it protects you from negative forces.
Okay. And is it important whether it's on the right wrist or the left wrist?
Both are same carries because there is a Manibandha Varmam here. So this Varma point, it prevents cervical problems. So when you have cervical problems, we give pressure in that point only because it makes your neck to be stable.
Okay. And what about anklets? Because everyone's wearing anklets in India too.
Very,
so what's the
very
story?
beautiful, isn't it?
Yes. True. What's this?
So anklets, everybody will be wearing an anklets because it's silver. Because silver absorbs energy from the earth and pass into your body. Because as you know, silver are the good conductors of energy. So it absorbs the energy from the the ground and it passes into your body, and it also stimulates around the anklets. There are many Varma points around the anklets, 6-7 Varma points. So it stimulates because all the nerves are going to end on the foot. So it stimulates and rejuvenates the nerves there. So it's very important.
Okay. And the toe ring, when a woman gets married here, you don't wear a ring on your finger, you are given toe rings. So why do
because the women, you have been noticed, many women would have been wearing the toe rings. It's not a fashionable thing, it's a round thing. You have been noticed the traditional one. So that thing is really, the nerve that connects the uterus to the heart ends on the second toe. So when we wear the toe ring, when we walk on the foot, every time we walk, we are pressing the nerve and we are stimulating the nerve, and we are we are strengthening the nerve. So that's why women will get pregnant easily. It strengthens the uterus as well.
Okay.
And it makes your uterus to conception.
Right. Okay.
If the lady is not, if the woman is not willing to have a baby and all, it always strengthens the uterus.
Okay, great. Now, what about saying namaste when we say hello to each other?
Namaste. See, when I press my hands together. And have you seen this point is called Ullangai Vellai Varmam in Tamil. Ullangai Vellai Varmam in Tamil. Okay. If you get prasadam, we get tirtham. You would have been noticed some sort of pressure will be near. This point strengthens the heart.
Okay.
And it increases your memory power. When you say namaste, actually you are strengthening your heart. It prevents heart attack.
Okay.
Scientists have researched this thing, namaste. So always say namaste or good morning like this.
Okay, and it also increases your memory power too, right?
Of course,
right.
of course.
Okay. And
that's why we we use prasadam and always on licking like this. This points is really very important.
Okay. And what about the tradition in India of sitting on the floor to eat?
If you sit on the floor, see, I sit on the floor and eat like this. If I sit on the floor and if I sit on this floor like this and I eat like this and I eat, see my one hand automatically presses in the center of the thigh when I eat like this. This pressure, this is called amekalam, center of the thigh. So this point stimulates my pancreas to release insulin. So when I eat, my blood glucose level get monitored. So I don't have diabetes. The persons who are getting diabetes, we used to stimulate this point. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 to stimulate the insulin secretion. But actually when you eat, you are automatically compressing the, see? And the fourth, when you sit and eat like this, the spine movement, back, forth, always pushes the digestive juices to get ready for the digestion. So your body is preparing the digestive juices to get ready, insulin to get ready, and your all senses, when you observe it, you see it, you feel it in your hands.
And that's when you move.
And all this, your fingers will get stimulated, and all this gets stimulated. When you put the food goes inside and everything is ready, the food is digested and get absorbed, and you will get energy from it, because what we eat describes who you really are. All the emotions are described by the food we really eat.
Right. Okay.
Because food and the thoughts are the two things that creates our karma.
Okay. We have a question about that later, which we'll answer. And so I was asking you when we were preparing this, if we eat, is there any Varma points to stimulate after eating? But you actually said you shouldn't do Varma immediately after eating. Okay. Yeah, because all this energy goes to the circulation body to digest. So it will not really work. Okay. So how much time do you have to wait until you have a Varma point? For some things, Varma can be done in an empty stomach. For some points, after, like in yoga, if you do yoga, you can't do yoga on immediately after eating, immediately after drinking water. It should take some time, 2 hours like that. Okay. And so otherwise on an empty stomach? Otherwise on an empty stomach also we can do based upon the person. For you, I can do on empty stomach. Okay, great. For some persons who is really very low energy, they couldn't handle, they feel always dizzy, we can't do that. It depends upon the person. Okay. For them, we can do it after 2 hours after eating. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then the third part of the talk is the things that you can treat. So here at the Sri Narayani Holistic Center, you can actually come here and stay for periods of time and actually have treatments, and you eat Siddha food each day, and you have Siddha treatments, and you see Dr. Janani each day, and one of the treatments is Varma. So what type of problems does one need to have to have Varma? I mean, what sort of things can you treat, for example? Varma altogether in Siddha medicine. Well, looking at Siddha medicine, everything, right? Everything. Right, okay. It cures 4,448 diseases. Okay. Except active infections and active trauma, like patient is suddenly he got accident or something, except that Siddha medicine is for the body, mind and the soul. It treats the soul. It stimulates the soul. So depression, anxiety, insomnia, infertility, anorexia, lower backache pain, cervical pain, rheumatoid arthritis, skin diseases,
So in like gastrointestinal disorders or neuromuscular problems, musculoskeletal disorders, so knee problem, knee joint pain. So people who are like great intense psychological pain, they want to come out, or people doesn't know anything, they want to have a just to rejuvenate themselves. So I need to take a break. I need to feel who I really are. So take a break and come out and feel who you really are. So that's also you can do with Varma.
Okay. So just to give an example, so for depression, you suggest how many days?
At least 14 days they should stay, and then they should take a treatment. So that 7 days it for the treatment. Then after getting the treatment, you will realize and go within deeply. So that moment of resting period is also immediately when you finish the treatment, you rush out of the place. Then you don't have time to realize the feeling. That healing and all this stuff. So it is good if they stay for a quite longer period, like 14 days, 21 days, like that. If they are in so much of a hurry, at least 10 days.
And what about for people with problems with fertility? How
Infertility, like it needs time. It takes time, at least 21 days.
But you've just had a very successful.
Yeah, very good, successful infertility. Like many people we have treated, they like immediately they have got many success.
Yeah, one of her patients just gave birth to twins. So it's pretty amazing. And what about someone suffering from insomnia?
Insomnia also, it takes time. Minimum is for all the treatments is 7 days, but for insomnia, it depends upon the patients. It might take 21 days as well. Multiples of 7, 14, 21. And it may extend to 40 as well. It depends. For example, some patients get treated within 1 day. Some needs more sessions. Depends upon how they go through, they receive the treatment.
And if you do come to the center, you get to have yoga, chanting, good food, and also the massage.
Yes, you have a package. You will have Varmam based upon according to your condition. You have external therapies according to your dosha, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and you have any problems like that, and you have a yoga daily, and you have a meditation daily, and you will have a consultation with me daily. So it is like a package, and room rent, food altogether 6,500 per day.
Okay, so the questions, now we're on to the questions. If you have any questions for this about Varma, a question from a friend in Singapore asks, does Varma therapy have any impact on one's karma?
Actually, good question. Very good question. So what happens is, take me as just feel me. If my life energy sometimes alters. So if sometimes my life energy feel down, depressed, so what happen if I stay in my depressed mode, my triggers, I get stimulated by some trigger emotions, I will leave words or I will get angry, and all this creates more karma to me. So instead of that, when my life energy is down, I would have been there some Varma to me, my life energy get altered, then I will focus on myself, to my soul, that I'm not creating any karma. What I have, my past karma will go, but I will be like an observer, let it go. I will be let it going. So this how you can handle karma with Varma.
So you're creating less. You're creating less karma.
Yes, and also you're finishing your past karmas as well as very gently. Let it go. Let it go.
Okay.
Does it make sense? You understand what
I think so. If you don't understand, please put it in the chat box and she'll give another explanation. Another question is, what is the link between Varma and Ayurveda? Or maybe the difference between Varma and Ayurveda?
Like when Ayurveda, they called it as a Marma Sigitsa. Marmam is hidden secret as called us, but they do practice the same kind of treatments over there. The name differs. We called it in Tamil, Dilarda Kalam, Ullangai Velayam. They named it a different way.
Okay. Yeah. So they practice Varma in Ayurveda?
Yes, they practice in the name of Marma, but not extensively as Siddha Medicine, because Siddha Medicine has a martial art every together, but in Ayurveda, only the treatment aspect they do have.
Okay. So when you're getting a massage, you are actually using Varma points.
Varma points, yes.
Okay. Okay. Does anybody have any other questions? We need your questions. I think our friend in Singapore was happy with your answer.
What she said, okay.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any more questions about Varma? Okay, how much is a treatment based on intuition?
Yes, it is based on intuition actually.
Yeah.
Because when we do Varma, we are connecting deeply. This is a soul-to-soul treatment, isn't it? You feel deeply connected with the soul, what the soul feels, what the DNA is, what the DNA carries, what does the DNA need, what does that DNA actually from. So, like for example, Natalie came from Australia, but that DNA belongs to this place, that connects to this place. So we can feel that kind of connection. So it is like soul to soul treatment, making the soul comfortable, making that more easy.
But like we have so also you can actually see things too,
See
right?
things. Yes, of course.
Because we have the other Bhuvaneshwari.
She can foresee things like what else, like what disease can come up in your body, because we can see the imbalance, the life energy. Because when I see in the lower body, your chakra is got stuck, you might develop some kind of abdominal issues or some kind of problems in the future. We can foresee things by doing Varma as well. And we can feel that the person is having the negativity or positivity just by observing and putting hands and doing the Varma. I felt many people. What is that kind of energy they are having? Like positive energy or negative energy? How much emotionally they got affected? Oh, very much stressed, depressed, so much of negative thoughts. We can feel it in Varma, our intuition and touch.
But then you can also touch parts of the actual points, and you can also know which points are suffering too.
Yes. Just by touching and feeling, we can feel. Oh, this point is correct. Oh, this point the energy got stuck. Oh, this we need to treat it. And because of this point, you have this problem. We can tell it.
Okay. So we have a question: is what's going on if someone is falling sick and catching a cold almost every week?
What is going
on if someone is falling
sick?
Their
immunity level is too low. It means their energy level is too low. If their energy level is too low, if your immunity will go up. And if you feel fear, that is the reason. Fear, anxiety reduces your immunity level, reduces your energy level. The more you get fear, the more you get angry, your immunity will go down and you will catch up all the infections.
Okay, so what's the best thing for this person
to do? Best things, this person to take right food, right thought, right, good things to body, to the soul. Meditation, taking right food, taking immune boost foods like, as I said, lemon, ginger, hot water, and also eating a right food, avoiding spicy foods, taking food on right time, preparing oneself to go to bed earlier, spending some times for meditations. If this will, talking positive things, this kind of thoughts will make them to increase their life energy. And also the more happy we are, the more life energy will get increased, and we will be not influenced by the outer energy forces or the viral infections.
So stress could also be a big factor.
Stress is diminishing. The big factor.
Diminishing immunity system.
The more, if I get fear, what happened? Then my neurochemical imbalance, my neurochemicals, the chemicals will get stimulated. That decreases my immunity level. Instead of that, if I feel happy, bliss, what happens? My endorphins will get stimulated. It alters my rhythm. Right. How you feel?
So you've got to laugh a lot.
Yes,
right.
Of course. No good medicine than the laugh and feeling happy internally and making others happy.
Okay. So can we learn Varmam?
Yeah, as I said, Varmam. Very good question, sir. Everybody is asking this question. Yes, we can learn Varmam to an extent, like just to applying oneself, like for doing this thing, putting bindi, and when we have some headache, we can put this point. When we are not feeling sleepy, we can press this point. So we can do this, but to a certain extent. But when it comes to treating for others, when you can do for your wife or your mother or father, because you do with love. When it comes to third person, yes, you need a guru to be in
So can you give us maybe then the five points? Say for example, headache.
Yes.
What's a great one for headache?
You can see the prominence here.
Okay.
thumb, like, you can use it like this also. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
How you feel, and also this point. 1.
So is that where there's that?
2. Yes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You can feel it. Okay. And also, if you are very much stressed out, you want to take a break immediately.
Yes.
Just close your eyes. Take your middle finger. Just feel it.
Across your eyebrows. Okay. And then under your eyes. So in a circle.
Just do it and feel it. How you feel.
And how long should we do this for?
3 times.
Okay. So every movement is done 3 times.
Did you feel?
That's great.
And also, when you have some cold, just do this. Immediately your nasal block will get cleared. When we get cold, we automatically do these things.
So can you do this again to show? So going down from the bridge.
Yes.
Down from the bridge around the nostrils.
And there are a few other points, but we can't do that because with the intuition only just. So these are all the points we can do on ourselves.
Great.
So have you noticed in my school, when I was sitting in the school on my table class, if I sit like this, I will be immediately my teacher will put like this because they don't know why, I don't know at that time, but when I studied Siddha Medicine, I know this is a point that stimulates sleep.
Oh, wow.
So that's why we are not advised to sit like this because it induces sleep in the classroom.
Right.
But at that time we don't. But in our South India, when we sit like this, everybody will put like this.
So when you are like at work, or there's a time in the afternoon, for me particularly at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I get a bit sleepy. What's something that can stimulate
sleep or
no? It's just not fall asleep. Sort of kiss.
That's thing. This.
So where is
ear
this?
lobe? This thing.
Oh yeah, this little thing.
1, 2, 3.
So we're pulling it, are we?
Just 1, 2, 3.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
And so also be patting.
Okay. Also stimulating the heart. Okay. Okay. Great. I think that's pretty good.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
And another thing that I learned for colds recently, because I had it was having a steam with turmeric, salt,
yes,
neem,
tulsi leaves. Yes, very good.
So that was also just having a steam was very good for clearing nasal passages. Does anybody have any more questions? Because we're going to be wrapping up really, really, really soon. And if you now again, I'm just going to say, if you do want to have an online consultation with Dr. Janani, you can.
Yeah, please support our Sri Narayani Holistic Center with your consultations so that our hospital can survive better and we can pay better salary for our.
During COVID, it's
really
because we don't have any people from overseas at the moment. There's one more question.
Sir, how do you
find a Varma guru?
So there are many gurus who is teaching over the world, sir. Like, in Dr. Shanmugam Asan, he is my guru, and Dr. Pal Pandyan Asan, he is my guru. If we approach them, they will teach you, sir.
Okay.
I can also teach you if you want. That needs to be initiated. But I'm not a guru, but I can share a few points.
And can you just also say, with an online consultation, how can you do an online consultation? Yes. Because you do have a lot of intuition with people.
Yeah, so. Like, when you have an online consultation, I can advise you regarding your diet, what you're eating. That is really very important, and I can do you how to make your daily routine better so that you can live happily within yourself. And also I can see you how your doshas get imbalanced based upon your queries, based upon your medical questionnaire. I can see where your doshas get imbalanced. To make the dosha to get balanced, I'll advise you what are all the things to be done, both physically and mentally, emotionally as well, where you get stuck, which emotion is really bothering you, how to come out of the emotions. So this kind of things can be clarified. And what are all the yoga that you can do every morning? So this kind of things can be clarified. You can have 1 hour consultations with me, and that will be really helpful to our center.
Okay,
Yes.
fantastic. Listen, so thank you very much. I don't think there's any more questions. So this today is a talk to support the green workers so that we can keep them jobs during COVID-19, because unfortunately we are still in COVID-19 in the peak of it as in India. So if you would love to, if you feel inclined, you can also donate as a thank you to hearing this talk. And we thank Dr. Janani so
Thank
much
you
for
so
sharing
much
her
for
wisdom.
your patience, and thank you so much for putting questions and all. And thank you so much for your love. Thank you.
Okay.
Om Namo Narayani.
Om Namo Narayani. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming today, and stay well, stay safe, and stay very, very happy.
Om Namo
Om Namo
Narayani.
Narayani. Thank you so much.
With Siddhar blessings, with Amma blessings. Om Namo Narayani to all.
Okay. Bye-bye.